Hello out there, hunters. This is America, also known as Michael. I am one of the developers for Vengeance Hunters and for Nalua Studio, and for some games to be announced in the future. However, I've been putting some polishing touches on an update for Vengeance Hunters. We released it in October of 2024 and found some time to, over the last quite a few months, add a bunch of features and whatnot that I really wanted to see in the game that I just didn't have time to add in, or we didn't have time to add in at launch. And this has been kind of a solo effort pretty much, but it's worked out pretty well. And anyway, I've already tested basically all versions of the game so far. But I wanted to put in a little bit more testing on the Neo Geo side because all Neo Geo cartridges that are currently out there can all be updated to the latest version. And of course, any of our ones that are going to be shipped in the future will most likely include this version. And anyway, there's a bunch of features and enhancements, and I'm just going to kind of go through those. And you guys can ride along. It's probably going to be a long, boring video. I'm going to also play through the game. But this is just kind of like part of the process, like being able to, go through and test stuff. It's actually a lot more rigorous than what I'm going to show you. I'm mostly just going to show you features. But anyway, I've already got the latest build flashed to a slot on my Neo SD Pro here. And let's just go ahead and get into the game. We have our BIOS there, custom BIOS. Love this. Everybody has their own variation on this. It's pretty cool. So basically what we've got is you can see it's in Spanish now. Added Spanish, DLB from our community. I asked for somebody who could read some Spanish text and just make sure it didn't sound completely stupid. And he went and basically redid everything to where it sounds good, at least as from the point of view of, I believe, a person from Spain, in possibly a certain area of Spain. So it's that's pretty cool. So we have localization, and it was mostly just to basically put localization into our future games, and Spanish made the most sense since a lot of the team are Spanish. Anyway, let me go through the options here. We unified the menus, or I unified the menus to where the modern version, console version, and the Neo Geo version now basically looks exactly the same outside of a couple of differences. There's not the ability to adjust volume or audio on this version because the Neo Geo doesn't allow for it, or at least we don't have that. But we also have game modes. This new mode here is 1cc, so no continues, no extra lives. You can apply that to any difficulty you want. So if you want a little extra challenge, you can turn that bad boy on. Obviously English, Spanish, but we could do more. This would be great to localize in Japanese because virtually all Neo Geo games also came out in Japan. However, that's a lot harder, but we can think about it at least in the future because we're set up now for it. What I did also is added in a mode for, or actually it's called Scene Select here. And this just allows you pretty much to go anywhere. You want to go to the desert oil field? You can. You want to start as Golem, Candy, or Loony? Let's do Candy, and I want to use the Alt palette, so I'm going to press C on my controller. And there we go. We're in the Alt palette, and we're ready to go. So, and you can just do that again from here. So if you want to go back to like, oh no, that's not where I wanted to go. I wanted to go to the desert cave. There you go. So I think that's pretty darn cool. I'm leaving that unlocked. It's not an unlockable. So that will pretty much just be available right from the start. Because I think that's just more fun. When you're on the AES side, we do have some unlocks, but just being able to get everywhere without having to go through any BS is good. So yeah, and that even extends to bosses. So if you want to go directly to a boss, you can. So here you go. I don't think I can actually exit out of this, so I'm going to have to fight this guy, but that's fine. He's kind of a wimp. Oh, one fun fact is you can actually press back to block. It says you're supposed to press A and B for block and punch. But you can just press back. It's a lot better that way. Anyway, now I can get out of this. So you can go back to options here, and you can go to scene select. You can also switch what your point of view is and go watch any of the intros or outros, including the endings. And you can pick the character because I don't know if you guys know this or not, but dialogue in the game is not only dependent on the character, so the dialogue will change for character point of view, but also the in-game dialogue will change based on what difficulty you have as well. So you'll get more lore tidbits or just more different dialogue based on the difficulty you're playing as and the character you're playing as. So that's a little fun thing that was that we had at the launch version of the game. Controls, one thing that was added in was this alt input. Basically, it changes your signature move to A plus B. And essentially what it does is it makes the game, instead of be a 4-button game, it makes it a 3-button game. So if you want to learn the game and only use 3 buttons, because if you're using an AES controller or like the arcade cabinet or something like that, sometimes hitting that 4th button, there's a reason why Neo Geo games didn't usually have 4 buttons. Hitting that 4th button is kind of hard because, like, you know, using your pinky just doesn't feel very natural. So I put in this alt input, which I mostly just use for myself when I'm using a stick on my AES or MVS or when I'm on my cabinet. And but otherwise, right now I'm using a CDZ controller, so it's just your standard diamond shape. So it looks like, you know, every other controller that's out there right now. Another thing that was added was high scores. So you can now go and just look at high scores whenever you want. And you do have to change the difficulty, and then you can go to the high scores and it'll tell you the different high scores based on difficulty. So that's the one prerequisite there. So that all is pretty darn cool. We'll leave that on Spanish here. What else? Pretty much we just got a lot of other features that were added in. Fixes, stuff like that, like Steam Deck pretty much works now as 1200 by 800, so hopefully we get the green check mark. We already got the playable, but we need the green check mark on it, at least I do. And then what else do we have? I think I pretty much hit everything. There's a lot of just balance changes, a lot of hitbox changes. Actually, these tracks, these were broken. Even on the launch version, they would desync, but on this version, they don't. At least I've never seen them desync. And they also match the new character movement. Oh, that's another thing. All the characters move a little faster, especially Loony. Golem got a few changes where his throws actually do a lot more damage now. So if you just want to play the throw game with him, you can. You don't have to just punch. You can just do all the different throws over and over again. And yeah, so that's kind of it. One of the other things that was really handy for me is we also have proper crash dump handling. So if the game does happen to crash on the modern or on the PC version, you guys can send us that crash dump and we'll be able to figure out what caused it immediately. So yes, if you actually do run into any crashes, please feel free to reach out to me or just us in any way. That'd be awesome. So anyway, what we're going to do is I'm just going to play through the game. I'm just going to play on normal difficulty or hunter difficulty. We'll use the alternate color for alt palette for Loony. I do enjoy him the most out of all three. I like all three, but the color palette is pretty darn cool. The color palette for him is pretty cool. I just like the purple. Plus also I just like Loony's gameplay. He's definitely the more advanced character that takes a little bit more to wrap your head around using him. But once you learn him, he's pretty darn fun because of all the range stuff, or at least in my opinion he is. So I don't really speak Spanish too well, so hopefully all this stuff is actually accurate. Shout out to DLB, I'm sure it is. That dude is so good, so good. Go. Swag combo there. One thing that most people probably don't know is, like, first off, they're probably not using a lot of range combos on him. They probably don't know that he can do this on his B attack. It bounces enemies back up. So so you can just whack them right back up in the air a mile, which is just fun by itself. And then, of course, when they land, also you can pop them back up like that and slam them back down if you want. Go. Oh, put that up for points. Stop her armor attack. That's another thing is a lot of people don't seem to know that you can use multiple attacks, like Loony's arm here. Golem can throw through them. A lot of candy stuff can break armor attacks. And you just have to like know that the game can do that, because the game really wants you to be able to recognize that situation. Because if you didn't, then you're pretty much just gonna mash the same buttons over and over again. And that strong button is there for a reason. So that guy there will break armor. You want to make sure you use that. Also, just does a lot of damage and looks cool. So there is that. Oh yeah, I forgot. If you notice, the enemy bars, they have names now. That's one thing that I always wanted to get into the game, and I'm so happy that we now have it. Because I don't know, I think you get kind of an attachment with you get an attachment to characters a little more when you know what they are, or who they are, basically. I was trying to come up with a name for this guy because none of them were actually really named, or very few of them were actually named. And that guy I called Beat Walker because there's the Beats headphones, and he has headphones on. So I was like, oh man, this is perfect. So he's my favorite cheesy name that I came up with. Didn't get the armor break off fast enough. Oh, we're gonna go for all the items and stuff like that too. So we'll be getting the special ending, or basically both unlocks at one time, because I don't have the unlock. I had to reset. Actually, with this new update, everybody's gonna have to do a reset of any of their unlocks, but you can actually use the scene selector to pretty much cheese your way back through that. I guess not all 5 items. That's pretty easy to get. As long as you know where they are, you can just play through the game with easy mode, and then you got that unlocked too. But most people will be able to easily complete that on virtually any difficulty that they're comfortable with anyway. Here's one thing we didn't have at the launch of the game. It was being able to easily go back and forth between characters when punching. It was more timing based. Like you're supposed to wait for a bit and then do it. Like it was intentional to make it kind of difficult. But I got some feedback from people who just didn't like that. So we took it out. So you can now just more easily just turn the direction you want to go and punch things. Does take a little bit of the challenge out, but so far, even with the changes that I've got right now, the challenge has been pretty. Oops, wrong way. The challenge has been reduced slightly, but it's not too much. Oh, another thing that's changed too, since I did have to reset the scores. Since I did have to reset the scores, one of the reasons why is because it's basically when I went through and changed the waves, I got rid of some enemies to make some waves not be nearly as long as they used to be, and wanted to make things flow a little better. I'm trying to carry these guys so I get the kill on them, because it gives me points. No. Alright, good enough. It gives you more points if you actually get the kill on them, so that's why it's good to do that. arrows. Yeah, a lot of times, here's another thing. Like, if you ever see a weapon in a level, most of the time, the reason why you have that weapon is there's going to be a lot more enemies than normal. So you're supposed to use the weapon. Some people save this. Like right now, I'm currently kind of saving it for the boss. Because I can get through this stuff pretty fast. But you don't have to. Like, you're supposed to use it. And, or at least use it somewhat. And it'll help you clear out waves and stuff like that. By the way, if I'm I don't know, not the best at talking all the time, it's because, well, I'm not a streamer, and I'm pretty bad at it. So please forgive me. I will do my best though. I'm a terrible streamer, YouTuber. I am married to an ex-Twitch streamer though. We actually met on Twitch. Well, kind of. A friend of mine and I were playing a game. He hosted her, he went to her stream or rated her stream. And then she asked us to play video games. Within 5 minutes, her and I became best friends forever. And then a few years later, we started seeing each other. And then everything just sort of clicked. And we've been married for 3.5 years. Trying to figure out if there's still a half, but yeah, we're at the halfway point. I like killing these guys too before they explode because you get points for them too. There's a lot of min-maxing you can do for optimal routing combos. You do get bonuses for the higher combos you get. That's another reason to basically not use the rocket launcher and wait for the end boss here. Because you might save time on the boss, but you're doing less damage. There we go. Thought I messed up the phases. There we go. See, I'm trying to skip his middle phase. He gives himself the shot. I know. Oh, that was an unfortunate time. Yeah, it's almost better to just keep not using the weapon, or at least like the rocket launcher, because you can get your combos higher, and the higher combos you get, the more points you get. So I've not done like any sort of research as to what is actually the best, but my feeling is it's probably going to be the best to just use the weapon, or at least some of them. The what is it? The rocket launcher, probably get rid of it ASAP, and then everything else, yeah, you could probably use. Like the machine gun actually to keep a combo going is really good. I've done that quite a few times, I guess. I did make it so you can jump over those guys. That's another thing, is I changed a lot of hitbox to make sure that there are a lot of some annoying things just didn't happen anymore. What is it? Knife throws. That's one. You can knock back knife throws very easy. Or in the later stages, you can do an alien beam and knock it. Oh shoot, I forgot all about my own trap here. Actually, technically, that's Thomas's trap. He set that one. But that was all his idea. Thomas is our main pixel artist in this game. And main pixel artist actually for all our games. He is quite talented. Oh. Break. Oh. So, one thing that can happen that was kind of a fun thing is like enemies can hit these falling things when they're clear in the air, and it was completely unintentional to do it, but it works pretty darn well. It works pretty darn well in just being funny. Like they're basically like, it's like they got shot out of the cannon. Ooh, It's like they got shot out of the oil well that exploded. Set up my own trap there. On combo. Oh no! Armor. Alright, time to get on some bikes here. See if I can get all the gold. There's an achievement on modern hardware where you need to get through this and not take any damage, which you can now use the scene select to go cheese. And not have to play to here again just to get that achievement. But in the original version of the game, the one that we were actually, I think, even originally launched, there was actually no way to, or not one that we originally launched, one we were almost going to launch, and then I was going through achievement checking, and I found that there was literally no way to get through here without taking damage. There was a setup somewhere around this point where it was impossible. You literally had to take one form of damage or another. There's no way around it. And I thought that was a little too difficult, so I modified it. And should get all these and give me a 1-up. Yep. You can barely see it, but it's there. Go. Alright, so again we've got a bunch of enemies here that are just going to be here to be flamethrowered. With these guys, you can get points off these guys if you hit them. Oh, I got hit. This thing doesn't do a lot of damage until you get an enemy airborne, and then it does a lot more damage. So just tapping them doesn't do much. Might as well do that. The air crash is another thing that you can use that is probably underused, and it does like twice as much damage when an enemy is airborne. So you can basically knock an enemy clear up. If you get a whole group up in the air and it's like a brand new group that just hasn't taken a lot of damage, you can just murder a whole group that way. Just, of course, have to make sure that you don't get hit, because you lose all your gray health then. I do love that mechanic. I think that's a lot better than just simply losing your health. I was a big proponent of that. I wanted to either make sure that we use basically super meters so that you could use it but not abuse it, or gray health. I prefer the gray health because I like the risk reward. But we almost just left it at just health loss because that's the way it was always done. And I was like, I don't like that. I didn't like that as a kid. I don't know about you guys, but it was not my favorite and still isn't. And it was a terrible mechanic. It was definitely one where it was like, hey, let's give these people a powerful tool to use and let's attach quarters to it. It's literally all it was. But yeah, we don't have a lot of this. I always end up being hit by these darn head thrower dudes, so I'm gonna take that early. Ah, no. Ah, okay. Alright, going to the cave here. Had to solve a bug with the cave, actually when exiting using the scene select, because it would cause the whole level to come after you because it didn't like start the level properly on exit, and that was way bigger of a technical problem than I would have thought. But it ended up working out pretty well at the end of the day. I need some extra points here. Yeah, got it. Go. Oh no, please don't knock me over there. No, oh no. Oh, can I get, oh, whew. I thought it was, I almost went past the trigger. I don't even care that I get hit right there. I just didn't want to lose the cassette, or not the cassette, the Neo Geo cartridge. Alright, so I need to make it through this and try not to die. That guy is a lot easier to not die to now. you can jump out of his explosion a lot easier. Mostly just want to make it to the health bank. There we go. Oh, he teleported on the spikes. What an idiot. Alright, this will give me a little bit of health. I think there's more health beyond here too. Oh, there's 2 apples. Oh, messed up. Forgot about that. One for, because there's not too many places to get your health back. Not too many places to get your health back. So, I put that in there for 2-player, but it also comes in 1-player. And those, like the cave and stuff like that, since it's a secret, are supposed to give you, like, you know, you're supposed to be able to, like, find 1-up, like, not only the secret item, but 1-up, some extra health. They're all a little more difficult than most of the levels until you get to the end of the game. But usually, the reward is worth it. We got the Cadillac exploded here. So watch out, some dude drops in. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh, I died early, Bez. That is embarrassing. I forgot that thing came out right there. There is some things you just kind of got to have a little knowledge of. Like if you're going to be near end of the screen or edge of the screen, especially in this stage, gotta be knowledgeable of that. Oh, the food was right there. Oh, I also made these guys not knock you down. They also jump like from a lot like closer, like, or they have to be a lot closer. Their jump arc is smaller, and these girls will jump, but they won't attack. The red versions will, but they also have a shorter arc and also don't knock down. There's a lot of enemies in the game that used to knock down that no longer do. That's another change. I've removed some explosives. Some of the explosives that were there are easier to avoid. Oops. Here's one of the techniques. People don't do this for some reason. You just jump up and use your heavy attack. I'll see people not do that, and I'm like, why aren't you doing that? Oh, shoot, I just messed up. Yeah, you can do this, basically. Alright, now he's down. I just gotta avoid these things. Oh, cool. He didn't do the other attack. Oh, gotta watch out. No. I just need to have enough to... Just need to have enough to be able to do a crash on you. There we go. Alright, that wasn't bad. It was a 1 cycle. A lot of times you have to go through and do 2 cycles if you don't know how to do it optimally. That's when you're like, you need to ration your health and make sure you don't lose it, because he can take longer. And I'm going to basically show the optimal way to beat pretty much every boss. There's multiple ways to do it. I could have brought the gun if I would have lived with it. I could have brought the gun and killed him even faster. I do love that I do love that enemies can be affected by the world. Oh boy. Can be affected by the world around them. So like, you know, bombs, stuff like that. Very fun. Oh yeah, the knives. So much easier to knock back. Oops. I meant to shoot a rocket straight down and missed it.
Go. Get out of here, you.
This is actually my voice here. See if I can kill a few of these guys. Maybe get some extra point. Oh, no. Yeah, if it dies to the bombs, you don't get points. Oh no. Ah. nice, very nice. Get some good crowd control there. Yeah, I love this stage with the rain and stuff like that. It's such a good job, and there's like a ton, like even like the little things, like the slight scrolling. Oh, that's one thing is like Neo Geo does not do parallax scrolling very well. There's some stuff you can do to kind of simulate it, but you can't really, like even the Genesis does a much better job of handling parallax scrolling. Let me see. Oh, I'm trying to see if I can corral them all at the same time so I can crash them all. That's good. That guy's considered a heavy, so you can't like do stuff like throw him with Golem. You can't knock him around the air very well. That guy's gonna jump, air combos. Oh, that's one thing with Loony. He's got kind of a bug where a dead enemy you can actually keep in the air if you want. He's the only character you can do this with. There's no point to it. But there's also no point in fixing it. Like I could have put a hit count on something like, or have it only be hit a certain amount of times after death. But I was like, why do that? Like all you're doing is basically wasting your own time, and potentially points depending on where you're at and what timer you're working with. You get more points and put more time on the clock at the end of the game, or at the end of the stage. I do like that there is a mix of enemies between levels, like there's some cohesiveness going on, like it's an actual world where all these characters and enemies exist and are fighting or know each other. I think that's actually pretty fun. They did a pretty good job of keeping that a little tight with both the story and just like the visual storytelling between all the areas. Oh, here's another thing that changed is this guy here is a lot easier to knock out. I made sure he was way easy because this is the one everybody misses. And it's because it's very easy to miss. The hitbox in this was really, really tiny. So you can go in here and then there you go. So a lot of you, if anybody watches this, might not have ever seen that or knew that was there because it was so, oh shoot. These guys had those backpacks that explode. And I love his name though, Killbillies. Thought that was a fun kind of, like that would be like a city sort of like badass name and like, you know, a wannabe tryhard dystopian city like this is. Wish we would have actually named the city. I remember asking originally when it came forward on Game like, so what's the city's name? And they didn't really have one. See the... Oh yeah, the city. Yeah, the city's name. I don't know what the city would be called. If anybody wants to put in the comments what they think the city should be called, go for it. Because yeah, I think it'd be pretty cool to actually have a city name. But it's beyond changing now. But we can just make it like our personal head. Oh, the hitbox on this guy's pretty big. This is actually one of the areas I trimmed down a decent amount. There were more waves, and I trimmed that down a decent amount. Mostly because, like some of that stuff went on. Like there was like these sections where like the enemies can pop out, and there's just too many of them. So I did not mean to do that, but here we are. Didn't do the down missile. I'm using a CDZ controller, and I don't know if you guys know what that looks like, but the D-pad is basically a big circle, and it's got clicky buttons and stuff like that, so it's not bad. But for diagonals, it is not my favorite. It is, in my opinion, for this game, a lot easier to play on, though, because you get the typical diamond shape, so you can use all 4 buttons really, really easily compared to using 4 buttons in a line. Oh, shoot, I did that to myself. That's why I prefer using that even on Neo Geo, just because of that. These dudes, this is a in the game bot enemy. In fact, he's Funny enough, it's a secret when I name these characters. There is when we get there, I'll show it off. But that proto A, that A means something, and it's well, it's basically for me. I put me and my friends in this game, and I'll show you it later. It's a nice little Easter egg. It takes a little knowledge to know about and trigger. One downside of coming out right here is that we don't get the car trigger, because there's supposed to be this DeLorean thing that triggers, and a couple of the ladies hop out and try to kick your butt, and then you get a few more killbillies and stuff like that. But due to when you come out of the sewer, this is just the way it works. But you do get this little cutscene from this guy. We're gonna go in here too. I actually always forget about this, even though it's really good to go in here because there's a 1-up and some basically just points. Oh, and there's health too. No. Where'd you come from? Alright, we're gonna go in here. I got some points. Got an apple. Got 1-up. Heck yeah. I always forget about that guy.
Go.
This is a real good one to use the crash on. You'll hit everything. You get your health back right there. Oh, of course, he ends up nailing me. Oh, these guys, you gotta watch out. These Kiko guys, they're the worst. They're the ones that will ruin your day if you don't pay attention. They like to throw knives. That's what they do. They throw knives. Oh no, got right out of my range. This is one of the few enemies in the game that actually drop a gun. There's just a lot of enemies in here, and there's actually another gun over here too. So you want to use the gun to just get through these waves and just have some fun just blasting stuff, because who doesn't want to go into like a dystopian city arcade where people are, basically getting in your way of saving humanity and just blasting everything. I think that's fun. And again, some people will take this gun and save it for the final boss, and I'm actually going to do that myself. However, I'm going to knock these guys a couple. Oh, shoot. See, this is why these guys are really bad. So I usually keep some bullets. Go. Crash them. I just killed all 3 of them. If I get my 1-up, and I can get all that back just by hitting both of these guys. So there's some optimal routes to use your crash. And that is definitely one of them. I'm gonna get this guy out of here. Okay. These guys are a lot easier to deal with when there's just one of them. They're pretty tanky. They go down a lot faster if you full combo them, but I just don't want to use my gun. Again, that's another thing. It's like going, do you want to save time and use the gun early, or do you want to use it on the boss? Because personally, I actually don't even like using it on the boss. Oh, oops, I did not mean to do that. I'm not going to get my 1-up now. Accidentally pressed the button. But yeah, you can just press back here and block. You don't have to press B. I always thought that was weird. I figured we should have just always press the left. Oh no, I pressed the wrong button again. Wow, I remember the last time I got hit on this, and here we are twice. Nobody's gonna believe me on that, but alright. Full combo him. I don't really need to do much. Let's go ahead and get the apple. See, here's another thing. People try to like go in and punch this guy, and you can't really punch him from the front. You need to play footsies with him. You need to, and don't be anywhere near him when he stands up, because he'll do that and sucker punch you. See, I'd be able to handle these chicks a little bit better if I could use my missile arm, my thistle. Alright, the main reason why I want this gun, see, he will counterattack, so you don't want to just keep punching because he'll just keep hitting you. So I want to get through this phase, and a lot of times you can just go past him like this. He gets winded, so he's got some vulnerability. You can do stuff like that. There we go. Alright, so this is why I want the gun. Is you get these guys, and just choose them up real fast. El Jefe. Oh, shoot.
And now, my
Alright, so now anything that's left after this, when he's in his final form. Alright, got a few bullets left. Alright, I got him now. Shoot him to death. There we go. Alright, so again, that was pretty optimal. That gun is there near him on purpose. So we beat him up. Need to get some information. What is going on? As you can see, I'm playing on real hardware. Showed you guys loading the game. We don't have performance issues. The Neo Geo was famous for performance issues. So this game, Gabor, our main programmer, his horn, a little bit horny since he's not here, is he's basically a genius when it comes to optimization. And even in two-player mode, there is very little issues with this game. Like, it is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. You had just enough time to just walk out of the way of that. So that's another one where people are like going, oh, I just can't punch him. I'm like, well, you got to learn the character. You got to learn the enemy. Just like any other beat 'em up. You got to learn the enemies. It's all good, though. Like one of those things where you just keep practicing. These guys actually have a little bit of health. Agent K3, that's actually named after Percy. If you see any of our cutscenes, Percy is the guy. He did all of our cutscenes, did an amazing job. He's a wonderful human being. Also, he has gotten a lot more work. I think this was his first game. If he hears this or sees this, please correct me, Percy, if I'm wrong, but I thought this was his first game. And he's actually never, or he's already gotten some huge work, including for the new He-Man Masters of the Universe game. He did a lot of the character art on that too. So not just cutscenes, but character art too. So yeah, absolutely insanely talented, fun to work with, super excited about just stuff in general. Like, you know, I always love people like that because I'm one of those guys. Like, when I like to be excited about what I'm doing, it's way more fun then. And I don't know why I'm beating this up. I don't think I get points for it. I just like it. Mostly want this gun to deal with the Terminator. This will make quick work of this guy. He's kind of tanky. Basically break his armor until he dies. And then he explodes. Ah, the elevator. Oh, the amount of hours I put into this elevator is kind of hilarious. Oh, I got it. Wasn't sure I was going to get that. I'm doing some unoptimal stuff for speed. I'm like basically doing some swag combos, air combos and stuff like that. But that's mostly just because I like doing it. It's fun. Oh, here's another thing that got nerfed is these guys, when they kick you, used to always knock you down. They don't do that anymore. Also, these Servomancer guys, which I thought was a cool name, they don't spawn their remote drones as often anymore. And they also, when they move, they're really slow, and also you can jump over the explosions pretty easily. So they have been heavily nerfed, as long as you're paying attention. If you're just mashing your punch button, you're still going to have a rough go. Oh, watch out. Let's see, you can just easily go. Oh, those other guys, that thing happens from so far away. One thing you can also do is use these things to kill enemies. I personally love that. That was always my way of dealing with these guys, is I would use that to basically kill them, and it was fun. But yeah, I totally understand that people had issues with this. They weren't paying attention, and because you're just sitting here just wanting to mash and have some fun. I get it. All right. Actually getting these to work correctly was interesting. Also getting it timed to where you don't have to dash to get through the whole thing. I'm intentionally not dashing. You notice I dash a lot, and that's by design, because I just like dashing. Oh, I'm gonna get caught. No. Uh-huh. All right, so I'm just gonna do that. There we go. Yeah, and those guys still explode. Usually the later levels, some of the waves were trimmed up, and some stuff that people got tripped up on, like the explosives and knockdowns and stuff like that, those have all been lessened. But the difficulty is still there. Like, you're still going to have, like, stage 3 starts actually putting the difficulty a little higher, and then stage 4 and 5 really amp it up, and that's by design, which you would expect in a 5-stage game. Ah. Some turkey, delicious. Make sure to punch all the things. Get the extra points we can. Hide behind stuff there. I was able to turn around and hit both of them. This is another one where you're expected to use this. Oh shoot! I exploded it right away. You're expected to use this and get through a lot of stuff. It's like these guys are really annoying without the flamethrower. Oh, it's gonna show that I could knock the beams back, but we'll do that later. There's a good spot for it right before the end boss. So here is the kindergarten, which just seems like a normal doorway. It's like, oh, nothing here, but you see that sign in the background? There you go. So here's the super secret. Since it's been, a year and a half since the game came out, it's allowed to, I guess, give up this secret. Those little guys are called broodlings, and if you hit them, that means you can't get the secret ending. Because if you hit them, they only have 1 HP. You can take hits from them. They only take one. What is it? They only do 1 HP of damage. But if you kill them, any one of them, you will not get the secret ending. Or I guess the secret extended ending. It adds in a little something. Think of it as like what is it? Save the animals from Super Metroid. It just adds on to the endings that are already there. You get like little helper broodlings pretty much with you in virtually all the ending sequences. Like they're there in every single panel, and I thought that was awesome. So it kind of gives a little bit of an incentive, basically, to save the babies. And I think the achievement is actually even called "Save the Babies." I have to double check, but I think so. So you have to be really careful here. Just take the hits from the broodlings if you care. Don't take hits from the enemies. This, and then here's the eyeball, the other secret that's in here. We have all these guns. Basically, I have all these guns everywhere in the kindergarten because people are gonna be like, sweet, I'm just gonna blow everything up. I'm gonna use all my favorite weapons. And they end up blowing up all the little babies, the little broodling babies. Get out of this. Let me see if I can get one to shoot a beam at. Oh, dang it. It did, but forgot that I had this dude right here. He messes everything up. Oh, of course. Here, you get to explode. There we go. right before the boss room. Kind of difficult. Oh, that did not take off like I was expecting it to. Oh no! It just crashed through everything and killed at least a couple of them. There we go. You do get some health. And then all your gray health when you do a scene transition comes back. So you do get that. And this is the last baby. If you accidentally kill that guy, you also can't get the ending. Okay, so we're in the clear now. So we can kill her. Sadly, we gotta kill her. Originally I wanted to make sure that she got away, and then like the ending sequence just showed her and her babies getting away. But we kind of ran out of time to be able to do that. So we ended up just doing the little additions, like when Kersey and I talked about it, we put the little additions on everything, and it turned out pretty cool regardless, so not unhappy. Each phase, the broodmother gets a little extra. This guy really isn't super hard to avoid. This is another one that had a really high health pool, and I nuked it down and made it a little easier. And this is also the first boss where you kind of have to know how to, like this guy. You have to know how to sprint. If you know, like basically what's about to happen, it'll go up in the air, and then you need to move from the spot. And if you do it right, you don't get hit. And it's best to sprint, of course. But that's another thing that you can get screwed by. See right here, I just gotta go whoop and. Oh, the spin cycle. This thing's actually pretty easy to avoid. I've seen people just get completely nuked by this. And I find it hilarious. I'm going to get hit by this on purpose because I think it looks cool. This is one of the best moves in the game. Doesn't even do a lot of damage, or at least not on Prey or Hunter mode. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but on Vengeance mode it does. Everything on Vengeance mode hurts. It's pretty good in regards to just making you feel humble about beat 'em up games in general. That's another reason why the 1cc mode exists, is on Vengeance mode you turn on 1cc because it's almost impossible to no death. It might be possible to no death now. I've never seen anybody no death it before. Okay, all these are points, so I want to kill as many of these as possible. And also all the enemies where possible. I also need to get all the gems because they're worth stuff. You also get a 1-up. You get all the gems. Get that guy. But yeah, there's a lot of differences in Vengeance mode. This is also a game where the difficulties changes, not just health. It changes speed, aggressiveness, how fast they can select attacks, how quickly they'll run to you and engage. Like there's a lot of modifiers between the different difficulties. So we didn't go lazy there. That's one of the things that is a huge difference between the different modes. All right, we're in the final mode, and one of the things that I added here was, you see a timer on these guys. They're called here, I'll just hit one. Alien alarms. And these had a internal timer to basically, if you didn't kill them fast enough, these three guys here are me and my friends. There is Operative M, which is Mobius. There is Controller T, which is T and Fang. And then there's me, who is, I think, just Proto A. Yeah, so basically, I put us in as an Easter egg if you failed the alien alarm check. And I thought that was pretty fun because I just needed to come up with names. And so I changed the wave to just have us in there because they're a couple of good friends of mine. So yeah, there's a nice little in-game Easter egg. And I'll, at the end of the game, actually with the high scores, when I show you how that works, the high score thing, which I kind of already showed, but I want to show it again because I want to show you the Easter egg because it's cool. And as long as you move, like, you just walk away. A lot of people don't know that. It's like going, as soon as it like basically dies, it's going to go to where you were. You just have to walk away. You can even do it pretty slowly now because they changed it. Oh yeah, these are... here's another thing. It's like when I actually want these guys to spawn enemies in. All right. There we go. So now I get Now I get extra, oh shoot, I died. It's okay. I want to get the extra enemies so I can get more points, basically. Oh, he's not dead. We'll just crash them. Oh boy. Oh no, that was dumb. Forgot these guys come in. So these are probably the most difficult enemies in the game. They can do knockdowns, which incidentally is the character I said was named after me. However, it's not the most difficult enemy in the game. Well, I mean, technically the Terminator, or the cyborg enemies are. But, normal enemies, I guess. That wasn't because I was like going, oh, I gotta be like the hardest one to kill. No, it was just because of the whole Easter egg thing. That's just how it worked out. So, I don't know if I want to deal with the actual wave. I might just try to kill this guy. Oh, no, I'm not even gonna get him. I think I only get these guys coming in, so it's fine. You only get those 3 dudes shooting that shot. No. Yeah, here, dude. Alright, here's where all the... This took a while to get completely set up to get timed correctly, because this is one of the first things I actually worked on when I was originally like learning how to redo stuff. And we used Godot to set enemies placements, and we put in a few different... Actually, why I was essentially doing all this, we were all learning. And so we had a lot of stuff put in for entrances and stuff like that, because one thing about this game I like a lot is most of the enemies at least have some kind of an entrance. They don't just walk in off the side of the stage. Sometimes they do, but it's more for variety than anything else. Not because they're being late. Oh shoot. So that coming. Pick this up. Here's an alien alarm that actually doesn't have anything attached to it. That was intentional, just because I like the way they look, and they didn't have timers at the time, and I figured nobody would even notice. But now that they have a timer, I'm just like, I don't care. So here is a secret door. You can't go into it until the waves are done, but it is pretty cool. Oh, dang it. I'm gonna see if I can get him to shoot his thing at me without, yeah, I can knock it back. Bam! A lot easier to do that now. So this is actually the toughest room in the whole game if you don't know what you're doing. If you do know what you're doing, it's actually pretty easy. So you can get in, and one of the best weapons to use on the Terminators, I'll keep calling them Terminators because that was like our internal name, was like Terminator. But you basically want to have either the flamethrower or the gun ready for like some of the waves in the future. Oh yeah, this is one of the ones where we actually do waves based on, or enemies based on health. I'm actually doing pretty okay here. I'm managing everything. This room's all about management. You have to manage everything. All right, yeah, this is the one where you want the flamethrower. The machine gun also works really well. And then this one's really good with, oh shoot, I meant to pick up rocket launcher. What this will do. Do that. Die. Got out of that in time. Nice. Oh yeah, you can also, so many things to pick up. You can also use this guy to kill enemies, so if you're really good at that, it's wonderful. Then this guy here, this is basically just teaching you that later in the level there's something to hit, and that's where your final item is going to be. And again, there's a weapon here primarily because there's just a bunch of enemies, so I would advise using it to deal with them. you get them clumped up, probably not worth wasting. I actually save a lot of my flamethrower to deal with the cyborgs a little later. Like I'll use it for some stuff in here, but oh man, I got right into it. Need this. Need this. All right, these guys should walk out here. I made sure those enemies could walk away from each other, and they also can't be hit while they're walking. Probably should have done that in other parts in the game, but didn't learn that until a little too late. There really wasn't another good place really to use it, because there's only like a couple places that even has doors. It's like in the city or here. A couple places in the lab, but not really, without redrawing the backgrounds. We actually had a lot of the backgrounds already done, like pretty early on. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. This is gonna be bad. Flame me. That, knock that back, hit the war machine with it. This guy's gonna come for me, so I just get out of the way. I gotta use that. All right, so this, you can actually bust this open early. You can be fighting this dude that you'll see here in a bit while you're fighting everything else. You don't want that. Save that. Save it. Absolutely save it. Yep. He followed me further than I thought he was. There we go. There's some new ones that come in. So this is where you really want it. You need to get these guys grouped up. You don't want to get hit by the whole punch. Yeah, here we go. This is going to be good. They should both die. Alright. So we don't need the flamethrower for this guy. It's basically just a kidnapped version of the Stage 3 arcade punk boss. And he's called Proto Alex. Anybody who basically knows who works for as part of Nalua will basically know who this is. And I think it's hilarious. And it also is with his voice. But he has all the abilities of Phase 3 arcade punk, but of course a lot less HP. But he's been experimented on. All right, here is our Overlord Bowie. For whatever reason, we called him Bowie, like the Ziggy Stardust from David Bowie. Don't know why. Name stuck. I needed a name, so that's what we ended up calling him. Did change quite a bit on this fight. He's a lot easier. He's or not easier, but he's like quicker to get through the fight because there's a lot of downtime, depending on what he picks. But really, it's not too bad. Also, his oh shoot, I should have. There we go. This thing can also be jumped over the ram because pretty much you just want to use your abilities to, yeah, like this guy, you just want to be able to crash him out of that stuff. You can use your crash, you can use picks, you can use your missile, you can use the heavy punch, you can do, oh shoot, that was a little too slow right there. But you can use all kinds of stuff, but people will not use any of that. And I don't understand. See, this you can jump over now pretty easily, and then the third one, boom, you just time it way easier. So this part can go a lot faster. If you're really good at combos, you can just kind of keep them in the air. In fact, actually, on Loony here, as you can see, I can pretty much just stun lock him, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Cheesing this boss, definitely worth it. All right, so I'm probably not going to survive. But another fun thing about this is, oh yeah, all the hands now can be hit a lot easier. Before they couldn't be. There was like times where you couldn't hit them, but or be able to jump over them. Oh, there we go. Oh, another thing, blowing up missiles near the hands or Bowie himself does a lot of damage. So if you want to basically just do a shit ton of damage to him, there you go. Just crashed out of that. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, so I'm doing a lot of damage to him just from that. And every once in a while, missiles will... You can sometimes get lucky and get 2 missiles. You can also just go after the hands. If you blow up one hand, it blows up or sends out a missile from the other hand. So as you can see, I basically nuked him because I got lucky with RNG and also kill the hand. So if you kill a hand, you can get a missile out. You kill the other hand, you get another missile out. Sometimes they shoot a missile anyway. Oh, so I got all 5 items, so I unlocked one of the unlocks. And then also, I did not kill a broodling, little baby. So you'll see the little babies on the screen there. You see one next to Loony on both sides, one next to Candy. There's one near everybody. And you'll see them throughout pretty much the whole ending. And, yeah. I guess we'll watch the ending here in its entirety. And then I'll put in my high score, and I'll show the high score thing that I was talking about earlier. That's another kind of Easter egg. And yeah, then we'll be done with this video, and you guys will have seen pretty much what's with the 2026 update for Vengeance Hunters. Got back to Earth. Station exploded. Looks like it's fallen into the ocean. Luckily, it didn't seem like it hit land. At least I hope so. See the little babies. They're there. They're happy. They're excited. Their mom's dead, but you know, it's still a good day. She was being experimented on, and they were going to do the same thing to the babies, and she was too far gone, so you basically had to put her down. And they understand that because they are intelligent creatures, and now they're just like, hey, we got nowhere else to go, so let's just hang out with you guys. You guys seem cool. But yeah, this is part of the... Oh yeah, 5 years later. Everybody has it a little different. Like Looney's 5 years later. I think Candy's like 20 or 25 years later. And then Golm's like 500 years later. And he basically just goes back to being a scientist and helping people out. Basically just living a good life. Looney's a good dude. Except for when, you know, he breaks the arms of, you know, other people. But, you know, you can even see the baby there, the broodling baby, just shocked. Oh my god. But that dude heals real fast. He's a zombie. It's fine. You know, he's curing them basically, and this is just the price of doing business, I guess. I don't know. I do think this is hilarious. Way too happy breaking some dude's arm. This also reminds me of the movie Over the Top. Shout outs to anybody who knows the Sylvester Stallone movie Over the Top. Your vengeance has ended. For now. Dun dun dun. Alright, so it looks like I got the top score by quite a little bit. Heck yeah, let's go. Oh, another thing, you have a lot more time now. It says you got a 20-second timer, but it's actually 45 seconds stretched out over 20 seconds. As you can see, it was pretty easy for me to get my initials in that amount of time, where before you actually had to race. It was pretty hard sometimes. So anyway, we're in there on hunter mode, as you can see. So what I was going to show for the last Easter egg was the high scores. Let's change over to vengeance mode. Go back, and since I erased my high scores, this isn't messed up anymore, but by default, you guys probably won't be able to notice this, but basically the first 6 entries are essentially my wife and I's kind of nicknames. And basically it says Mike Mo loves Marcy Mo. And that was for my wife. I was able to show her this on our anniversary. And I thought that was pretty cool. It was a cool way to say, like, you know, I love you. And so anyway, that's another Easter egg that's in there. This is a full spoiler video. But anyway, thank you very much, everybody, for playing the game, for being supportive. The feedback's been wonderful. I love the fact that we're actually able to like get some updates into the game and be able to do some cool stuff, like, you know, the whole localization, scene select, the character names actually being on the screen, boss names being on the screen. I don't think I mentioned that, but they were there. They weren't there in the launch version. So yeah, all that stuff, very cool. Appreciate everybody. And everybody just have yourself a wonderful day. Take care. Bye.